What up, peeps, and welcome back to a weekly trade video. We had a lot of stuff last week, and this week I can already tell we have less, at least so far. Usually we have enough stuff on Monday for like 3 clips, and we have everything set up here. This is the only extra stuff so far. So we'll see what gets traded in, obviously, but for now, let's start over here. We're gonna go with the cheaper stuff first. We have some VHS here. Some of these, I'm not sure why we took them in, like Grumpy Old Men. I would not have taken that personally, but I didn't do the trade. We have some Blu-ray in here, getting into the PlayStation 4 games, and then into some original Xbox, not a ton, also a little bit of PS2 there. Then into the 360 games. Kind of surprised that Fear 2 is less than 15 bucks. This particular one doesn't have a manual, but still. I remember when all those games, all the Fear games got really expensive. They were like 50, 60 bucks for a while. We have Xbox, a little bit of PS1 and PSP, 3DS and DS. And then we have the Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. This is the Luigi set. It is pre-owned, but complete. And then we have some Amiibo here. Some cool stuff, including Joker. Then over here, we have some strategy guides, including Pokemon Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. There's Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, Okami, and then some Nintendo Power magazines. And there's some good issues in here. These are mostly like Nintendo 64 era. Also a Jet Force Gemini guide. We have this really weird like Game Boy plastic carrying case. It hasn't been cleaned up yet. As you can see, it looks kind of gross, but it'll clean up nicely. These are the Call of Duty Ghost camera that comes with one of the special editions. We have little circle pad here, Game Boy manual, and then we have a base set Charizard, which is arguably the most like sought after Pokemon card. This isn't the most sought after version of it. That would be like a first edition Shadowless, but this one is in not great condition. You can't see it on the front, but on the back, there's a crease that goes all the way across right here. It's pretty bad. For some reason though, it does not show through. So from the front, the card doesn't look too bad, but it's pretty rough. There's also some scratches and wear to the edges and corners and all that. We also have Final Fantasy and then Mega Man for NES. That's one we don't get very often. Some other Super Nintendo games here, getting into the Xbox 360, and then a copy of Majora's Mask and Mario Kart. And these are the more expensive Xbox 360 games here. Nothing too expensive though. This is mostly just like $15 ones, but that's the lowest price point that goes into our glass cases. So also got some PlayStation 2 games in there. A little bit of PS3, Xbox One, and PS4, and some GameCube. And then we have some really cool movies here, mostly horror and anime. Some steel books in here. A couple of these are new, most of them are pre-owned, but still some pretty cool stuff. And then lastly, up across the top here, we have 2 Final Fantasy soundtrack CD sets. We have some PSP games, some cool stuff there. Couple Wii games, couple PS1 games, couple Game Boy Advance games, a complete in box copy of Excite Bike, and then a complete in box copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted, but that is a European copy. And then it is region free though, so some loose Amiibo here. And lastly, a boxed copy of Tecmo Super Bowl with no manual. So that's it for me. Stay tuned for more.
Oh, hello there. Ignore me almost dropping the phone to start off the clip. That's how you know it's a good trade clip. Got some loose Game Boy games down here, some DS, and more Game Boy. Pokemon Pinball. Wow. We got some OG Xbox. I don't see that game very often. That one's complete in good condition. I used to think because of the green lightsaber that this game was like after Qui-Gon died and he was like using Qui-Gon's lightsaber for a while. And then I found out it was just because like I think GameCube was going to be purple, PlayStation 2 was going to be blue, and then those got canceled. It was an Xbox exclusive. But if you want to see Obi-Wan doing cartwheels, you can play that game. Some more 360. Nice. Ninja Gaiden. Ooh, complete Saturn. Wow. Road Rash. Heck yeah. I feel like most of those games have great soundtracks. Got some Switch. Monkey Ball. Monster Hunter Rise. Got some good stuff. All available at doublejumpviewgames.com. Man, I can tell it's just the start of the day and I'm gonna need more coffee. It's okay, because I see Pokemon games, and that's always the sign of a good day. Got some N64 controllers, a Genesis controller, some loose N64 games, and some complete Nintendo. Wow. Kirby, F-Zero, Rassilon. Need a good Rassilon game. Sonic 3D Blast. Yeah, Uncharted 4, the little strat guide with like it's all smooth and feels great. Cosmic Red, yeah, Cosmic Red. We got some cheaper movies and games. What's that? Oh, 20 Hawk, nice. Some cheap PS3, PS2, some NES. The system that hates me, it's okay because I hate it too. Never wants to work for me. Then Cooper will come up and touch it once and it'll work just fine. Action Replay Max with DSi. Hope you're all having a good one, and as always, I'll see you next time.
We have so many cool trade-ins. So starting off, we have some Neon Genesis figures that came in. There's quite a few of them. I'm not super familiar with them, but they're still really cool. And then we also got a Trigun one in. And this really cool Godzilla Dreamcast VMU with like the little figures. It's kind of hard to see, but they're right there. We also got a Metal Storm Collector's Edition and Holy Diver Collector's Edition for NES. Going back over here. This is just a Game Boy that has a new lens on it. That's not an authentic lens, but it makes it look really nice. There's no scratches. Look, that's you guys. And then Arrow Video Blu-ray for Inglourious Bastards and The Thing. And then we also got some cartridges. These just came in from a local customer. The Departed on 4K and some Pokemon games. And then we have some new releases, Death End Request, and some 360 titles, as well as GameCube. And then some soundtracks. I really thought that Colton would buy these up. I bought a Aristocats one, because that is my favorite movie for Disney movies. We also got The Village and Pokemon Black and White 2 Super Music Complete. That is a Japanese import, but music is still gorgeous. Here's some filler titles, and then Japanese Sega Saturn titles. Hogan's Alley Barbie and Turtles. And Sonic 1 and 2 Complete for Genesis, as well as Afterburner and Altered Beast. This is something we don't see all the time. It's a complete in box Sega CD Night Trap. That is the cardboard box on that one too. Oh, Sonic 1, 2, and 3. Totally missed that. And then up here we have strategy guides for BioShock, Sonic, Silent Hill, Doom, Epic Mickey, Scarface, and Halo. We are in the process of ordering replacement cases for these Sega CD games. They're just so fragile and they crack on the front and the hinges, so a lot of these do need replacement cases, which is a bummer. They are expensive, but it's gotta happen. And then one more hanging out up here, but we have additional Japanese Sega Saturn ones. And a Sonic Jam. Looks like it's disc or manual. The manual is missing. It's a bummer. And NES carts that also came in with those Game Boy carts earlier. DuckTales, and then some complete in box items. That Game Boy Color, Kirby's Adventure, and then this Switch Bro Force Special Edition. Very interesting.